Welcome back to Zero to Hero. Today's topic is Protect. Protect is the most commonly used move in VGC, but it is quite complex. Today we will be covering how it works mechanically and when/how to use it effectively. Also, we'll cover when not to use it, as that's something often glossed over. Protect is a normal type status move that almost every single Pokemon in the game can learn. It has +4 priority, and it makes the user completely immune to any and all attacks for the turn. This includes damaging moves, any secondary effects, and status moves. This does not protect the user from things like field effects or previously inflicted status conditions. This includes things like sandstorm damage or damage from status effects like burn, poison, or leech seed. Some moves like Haze that affect the whole field also are not prevented by Protect. Protect is an incredibly powerful move, being able to keep your Pokemon completely safe for the turn. It may seem like using this move multiple times in a row could guarantee a win if your opponent has some form of residual damage like poison. That's where the balancing aspect of Protect comes in. Just before we get into it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and leave a comment of what your favorite protection move is. Protect will always work if the user has not used a protection move the previous turn. However, if the user has used Protect the prior turn, Protect's chance of success drops dramatically. Each consecutive turn using Protect multiplies its chance of success by 1/3. So using it a second time in a row, it will have a 1/3 chance of success. Using it a third time consecutively will only have a 1/9 chance of success. On a success, it will function as normal, but will continue the consecutive turn failure counter. On a fail, the Pokemon attempts to use the move, but nothing happens, essentially losing their turn, so they're left vulnerable. Failing the move also resets the failure turn counter. So if you use Protect, then attempt to use it a second time but fail, it will not fail the next turn should you use it again. This counter is shared with other self-protection moves like Spiky Shield and Burning Bulwark, and it's also shared with team protecting moves like Wide Guard and Quick Guard. So if you use Wide Guard first, it will function as normal, then try to Protect the very next turn, that Protect will have only a 1/3 chance of success. Some moves can break Protect. There are 5 moves, but 2 are exclusive to Hoopa, which has never been allowed in VGC. 2 more function the same in Shadow Force and Phantom Force, and the 5th move is Feint. When any of these moves hit a Pokemon that used Protect that turn, they will still do damage and will break the protection, allowing other Pokemon to hit the target as normal. Although all of these moves are very uncommon, Feint and Phantom Force are seen the most. Feint is a weak, damaging, physical, normal type move with a priority of +2. This allows it to move after Protect to break it, but still move before an ally, allowing them to damage the protector. Phantom Force is seen most commonly on Dragapult and is a 2-turn move. The user disappears turn 1, becoming invulnerable and does no damage, but attacks turn 2 and will hit through Protect and break it. These moves will still damage the target even if they didn't use Protect. There are 2 other moves and 1 ability that deal damage through Protect but do not break it. They are Hyper Drill, learned only by the Dunsparce line, and Mighty Cleave, learned only by Iron Boulder. Both are not very common in VGC. The infamous Pokemon Urshifu has the ability Unseen Fist, which allows all its contact moves to hit through Protect, but again, does not break the Protect. From prior generations, Dynamax moves and Z moves would hit through Protect, but only deal 25% of their full damage. Alright, let's move into how to use Protect effectively in battle. Since Protect is only active for 1 turn at a time, it may seem like that it just delays the inevitable, since if your opponent hits into your Protect, they can just attack again the next turn, while your Protect will probably fail. However, there is more to it than that, especially in double battles. So when should you use Protect? I've come up with 5 general scenarios where you should use it. 1. When you can block a move that cannot be repeated. 2. When you need to stall out timed effects. 3. When you need to reposition. 4. When you expect to double up or your opponent to select a specific target. And 5. When scouting to see what your opponent will do. We can use it reliably against other things that cannot be used repeatedly. Take Fake Out as an example. It can only be used the first time a Pokemon is on the field. So if your opponent is pressuring you with a Fake Out flinch, you can simply Protect that turn to avoid the flinch and the chip damage. Then the next turn, their Fake Out pressure will be gone. We can also use it to stall out certain timers easier. The main examples being Weather, Tailwind, and Trick Room. Tailwind, for example, only lasts 4 turns, So if you're protecting every other turn while your opponent has Tailwind up, you're significantly reducing the value of their Tailwind. Same goes for Weather and Trick Room. Your opponent really wants to capitalize and get the most out of these effects, and denying essentially half of their Trick Room or Weather turns is very effective against these strategies. This of course does not mean that you should always necessarily protect every other turn whenever your opponent has any of these effects, but if you need a little more defensive play to wear out your opponent's offensive pressure with these effects, then consider using Protect more often than you would normally. You can also Protect as a way to allow residual damage on your opponent, like Poison, to tick away while they cannot damage you. If you have leftovers, the same principle applies. Take a free turn of leftovers healing while you Protect. There are also some ally effects that will hit through your own Protect. Moves like Coaching and Decorate will still buff your ally's stats while they're protecting. You can also Protect with just one Pokemon that is threatened by an opponent, perhaps keeping that Pokemon alive while allowing your other Pokemon to switch into something that can deal with that threat, or allowing you to reposition. You can also Protect while your partner already threatens something on the opponent's side of the field that is also threatening one of your Pokemon. This allows you to keep your vulnerable Pokemon safe while allowing your partner Pokemon to take out that threat. This scenario right here really is the basis of what makes Protect so strong. Also, when you expect your opponent to attack one of your Pokemon with both of theirs, protecting that suspected target will give you a big leg up by still being able to attack with your partner while blocking both of your opponent's moves. Protecting while your partner uses a spread move that hits adjacent allies like Earthquake can also be effective, since you still get the benefit of hitting both opponents, but you're not attacking yourself. There may be some scenarios where your opponent has 2 or more likely options, with very different results. In these scenarios, it could be good to use Protect with both of your Pokemon to simply find out what your opponent wants to pick. This gives you information on how they play, and will also give you more information and perhaps draw out a Terastallization or some other powerful move. This can give you a huge leg up, having your opponent commit their Terra or some other important piece to something while you just Protect. When should you not Protect? I've summed this into 3 general scenarios. When your opponent is likely to set up or switch, when you have more offensive pressure than your opponent, and when you've already used Protect. When you do Protect, your opponent can take advantage of the fact that you're not attacking. If you Protect with both Pokemon, this can be a free opportunity for your opponent to use setup moves, switch into a better position, set Trick Room or the like. So if your opponent has a setup strategy or a more passive game plan, tend to lead towards attacking more than protecting. Also, when suspecting them to use status moves or switch, do not Protect, but try to capitalize on those vulnerable turns. When you are already ahead in a game, and your opponent is on the back foot, again, generally focus on attacking, as protecting can give them the opportunity to reposition and get back into the game. If you have the offensive pressure, use it. What about risking the double Protect or triple Protect odds? Are those ever worth it? In most situations where you need to reposition or play defensively, I would say the risk is not worth it and you're better off just switching or trying to attack. However, you may find yourself in some situations where your opponent has the game in the bag. Perhaps they have 2 turns of Tailwind or Trick Room left, and they will move first and knock you out and win the game. However, it may be worth trying for the double Protect, if it allows you to stall out the remaining Tailwind or Trick Room, and you will be able to move first after it expires. In these scenarios, where your only other option is moving last and being KO'd, should you go for the double Protect. After all, a 1/3 chance of winning is a lot better than 0. Keep in mind though that when you find yourself thinking of going for a double Protect, most of the time there will be a better option, be it switching, attacking, or using a status move or something of the like. So with these types of scenarios in mind, get out there and start using Protect. Thanks for watching.